Hello, everybody. Welcome to our virtual visit show. This is day 4. It's March 19th. I'm David Mustonen, Director of Communications for the Dearborn Public Schools. And as everybody is adjusting and getting used to more online learning, taking a look at videos, watching different things online, we too are joining that realm and doing a lot of remote learning as well. And joining me, as always, is our superintendent. Glenn, how are you today?
Good, doing well, David. How are you doing?
Good. Out today and watching a lot of computers being distributed.
Sure, yes.
And food, again, being distributed.
Again, yeah.
So a lot of team effort there. A lot of team effort.
There is, and it's very positive. Today, I went to Etzel Ford, and they have the computer distribution with Chromebooks, along with the food distribution, and people stepping up, coming together. It was positive to see that in the line for the Chromebook distribution, people were also maintaining space, which was nice.
That's good.
And staff are really stepping up, and they're taking precautions too. They're wearing gloves and other things just to be, safe. I did get a picture of Mr. Casebolt with some of the Chromebooks. Then went over to the food distribution line, and staff is really, happy to help. They're happy to be there. We had a student volunteer in there, and the one thing people keep asking me is, well, we're looking forward to coming back on April 13th. And I said, yes, as of right now, we're scheduled to be back April 13th. But as we know, things are fluid and could change, and we have to wait to hear from the governor, and we hope that things will get better sooner. But at the same token, our office is planning for the potential of being closed longer. Again, I'm not saying it right now, but we have to do short-term and long-term planning. And we just came out of a real positive crisis team meeting earlier at 1 o'clock, and our team continues to meet every day at 1 o'clock. And everyone is kind of coming together. Also want to mention we're preparing this office, ASC. We're physically in ASC in the boardroom right now, taping this, but we are planning to have even less staff in physically. Staff will still our office will still be operational in service to the public. It just means that you physically would not be able to come into the building. You'll have to call. We're going to we already have, but we're going to publish additional numbers and emails where the public and students can call in. And we're also doing that for staff as well. Great. So we're getting ready to have a very skeleton staff, only the basic essentials, including you and I. And I think that this show may actually change next week, where we may be not doing it as often, but we're also looking where you may be at your house and I may be at my house, and we're still working, but we may be broadcasting from different locations.
Great. Yeah, that's all good information. And I think what's really important there, as you pointed out, still very fluid.
Yes.
Very changed. I know we're getting a lot of questions about, is graduation still on? Are these days going to count? Are we going into summer? We just don't know.
We don't know. That's the truth.
We just don't know.
And because the state has to give us direction, and we're hoping that things turn for the positive as far as the health crisis out there. But the reality is we don't know, and we're going to take it in some regards hour by hour, day by day, week by week, and that's what we're doing. But we are still long-term planning. Right. And we're also excited about the things that our staff has done in our community, coming together, all of our staff in the district and the community with some of the things. And I know we have one thing we want to talk about today. Yeah,
definitely. We want to talk about the COVID-19 Emotional Support Hotline. This has been put together by Mike Saley, Executive Director over Special Education and EL Services. And Mike and his team has, again, another group of individuals from our district stepping up, coming forward, and putting this together. And Mike is joining us remotely. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hey, Mike.
How are you guys doing? Hope
Great.
all is well.
All is well. Thanks for taking a few moments to join us here and just explain a little bit about what you and your team have put together for us.
Absolutely. Well, actually, the story is a group of psychologists and social workers. It was Dr. Kalai that initially contacted myself, and I know Dr. Maleko and some other executive cabinet members with this great idea of, hey, we need to support some of our students right now. And it is a time of crisis, with COVID-19, especially for some of our students that may have the different stresses and anxieties and so on and so forth. So really what we did was we kind of came together as a team collectively and developed what we call a crisis hotline. Now, the basis of this hotline is really going to be for anyone who's going through any anxiety, any stress, just someone to talk to, or any support, so on and so forth. It's more of a social emotional hotline. I think I just referred to crisis. It's not really necessarily a crisis hotline. When you call, you'll be directed to a message by Dr. Bazzi Gates that's both in Arabic and English. And really, it's going to be directed to, if it is a crisis and it is an emergency, we always want you to err on the side of caution and dial 911. This isn't necessarily made for, those crises that you're going to have from day to day or that happen every once in a while. But really what this is for is just a social emotional support, and it's manned by, our professionals within the district who do a great job with some of the mental health stuff, whether it's our counselors, social workers, or psychologists.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great and appreciate your leadership and your team and a lot of good people that are willing to help in our special ed or psychologists and social work team. And so, thank you for stepping up. And I do think that's important too to mention. If there's some emergency, you dial 911. So just reiterate that we're not taking the place of our great first responders in the community, but this is just another layer of help as people are dealing with the new normalcy of being at home and not being together, and maybe not being in places that we're normally used to going to, including us. I'm used to being in the schools 400 and something visits a year, and I was kind of saddened that I can't read to students right now. But maybe we'll come up with some virtual ways to reach students and things.
Absolutely.
So, Mike, we appreciate you, taking the lead in your department. Providing that support, and I've received a lot of good feedback. We just published this last night, and a lot of people have been thanking the district and everybody for stepping up to help our students.
It was really our team who stepped up and did a phenomenal job with a lot of this, and we just want to make sure that we continue to support the emotional well-being of every student in the district as well.
So, Mike, if I'm a parent at home, and I guess in today's media is everywhere, and we have these news cycles that are 24/7, constantly watching the news, and it's constantly on. And if I'm a parent and I notice that my child seems a little out of sorts or just doesn't seem to be themselves, is this something that a parent, would that be a kind of thing where a parent could call this line and get maybe some tips or some advice on how to help their child get through this? Would that be an idea?
Absolutely, and that was kind of the premise of as to what it was kind of created for. And we also know right now we're kind of living in a time where there's a lot of isolation. And we know sometimes with isolation, especially for some of our students or families, that can be very challenging. Especially so we want to make sure that we continue to give them that opportunity to be healthy, especially mentally. Mental health is a huge thing right now, not only in society or in schools, but in society all over the place. Sure. So we wanted to make sure that there's that avenue there that our students and our families could definitely connect with some of our professionals and just help them through some of this stuff.
Great. Well, Mike, thanks again to you and your team for putting this on and taking a couple minutes to chat with us about it.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me, and we'll see you soon remotely.
Right? Yeah, we'll see you.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, you're remotely from the studio, so you're close.
There we go. Yes. All right. We'll see you guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye.
So there you have it, a great resource. And, we should probably give out that phone number.
Yes, so you can call 313-827-8500, or you can email at dss@dearbornschools.org. So again, that number is 313-827-8500, or email dss@dearbornschools.org. And again, we are planning to have published, and we've already published some of them, but we're going to have a central place where the public can still continue to communicate and get services from our district central office, despite the fact that we may not physically all be here in the building.
Right. Great. And so just a couple other, things we want to point out. The district's website, we have some links there to, right at the top of the page of the district's website, we have some information. We'll put those phone numbers up there. We also have our nurses put together great resources for COVID-19, and there's a link there to that. I also wanted to mention that the Education Foundation, another great partnership that we have going, I know they're doing some things to help support if people want to donate to, maybe they want to donate computers or something.
Yeah. I mean, we asked the foundation because then we're confident the money will come back to our students. We have a lot of groups that want to help, and we have a lot of things. I'll even say I've been getting emails from groups outside of Dearborn that are for profit, I think. And so we got to be careful with that. So the Ed Foundation Foundation is a nonprofit. We know I'm a member on their, I sit on their board, and they do great work. So they have published a press release on that. I believe we have, or we will be publishing that, and I plan to. And then we'd ask that if you do want to donate money to help Dearborn schools and our students,
Right.
that would be a great place to donate. The other thing is that if you want to donate for a specific purpose, you're allowed to say, I want to donate for this, and you can earmark the funding to what you want it to be used for. Perfect. So that's another safeguard for those who like to donate. So that's a great place to donate, because then we're confident that the money will go to our students.
Perfect, great. I know the Education Foundation too also does a number of scholarships every single year, anywhere from 500 to 1,000, and some are a little bit more than that. And I think there are probably at least 8 or 9 different scholarships that they do every year. They've pushed the deadline for applying for those scholarships back to April 30th. So now you have, if students are looking for just those small scholarships, and they really add up, they have till April 30th. They can go to the Dearborn Education Foundation website, and you can apply online there and get the applications there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we appreciate the work of the foundation and their support.
And so I guess, we've got, like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, our final day on Friday. We'll come back again, and then maybe next week, not as often, and we'll do it it might look a little different.
Yes.
But I think these updates are important just to let everybody know what we're doing and what's going on. And as we kind of fall into a new routine, there may not be as much to share, but we still want to share information.
Correct. We'll continue a regular communication channel through the blogs, through the websites. So we encourage people to, stay tuned. And we wish them all the best for safe and healthy days ahead with their families.
And I guess patience.
Yes.
Patience is, there's so many unknowns and what ifs, and those what ifs can cause a lot of trauma and a lot of stress in us. But we really need to wait this out for a few weeks and then see where we are a few weeks from now. Not just us as a city, but as a state and as a nation, really. And I know that's going to be the toughest part. The next 2 weeks, the next 3 weeks are going to be tough. We're going to need a lot of patience. All of us working together. We've seen great community support and working together. And I think that as long as we keep that attitude and that spirit, dig down deep and keep it going, I think we'll get through this. And then as things, like I said, as things move on, we'll have more information and more decisions will be able to be made.
We got to keep that positive attitude and that optimistic viewpoint, and I know you will, and we encourage others to do the same.
Great. Thanks, Glenn, and so
thank you.
We'll check it out.
We'll pop out the sign again. This is our tradition. So I'll go back to the pop up.
We're going back to the pop out sign. Students first, and we know our staff, our parents, our community are helping us all do this and put students first. So we'll see you again next time tomorrow.